Stefano Faita, and you're in the kitchen where the recipes are always simple and delicious. Meat and potatoes, they just go together. And there's one classic French meal that combines the two perfectly. Steak frites. You might like to order steak frites when you're out, but today I'm gonna show you how easy it is to make it at home. So first up, steak with peppercorn brandy sauce. It has fresh shallots, green peppercorns, brandy, and a touch of cream, just a touch. It's a really flavorful way to prepare your steak. Then my thick cut fries, or frites in French. Whatever you want to call them, they're the perfect partner for any steak, and I'll show you how to get them nice and crispy. I'll serve them with a simple tarragon aioli because fries taste 10 times better when you have some flavored mayo to dip them in. And finally, a frisee salad with warm bacon dressing. It's got crisp frisee lettuce, smoky bacon, and creamy blue cheese. Are you guys ready to heat up the kitchen? Yeah. So first up, steak with peppercorn brandy sauce. It's a Parisian favorite that's found on almost every bistro menu. And if you're looking for an easy main to impress dinner guests, this recipe is a great choice. So guys, steak frites. Really simple, really classic. So we're talking freshest ingredients, simple cooking techniques. So I have my two steaks. I'm using New York strip loin. I mean, great piece of meat, nice and tender. You can find it almost anywhere. I got a nice big cut, you know, hey, be generous with your guests, right? Some nice marbling, so I got a nice bit of fat in there, which makes it nice and moist. Now, what we want to do is when we're cooking steak, or even seafood or fish, you always want to pat it dry, okay? So I'm going to just take a paper towel, just like this, and you want to pat these dry. Because you want to get rid of the moisture, because when you put it in your pan, you want it to fry. You don't want it to steam, you don't want it to boil. So pat these babies dry. We're going to remove this nice and slowly. And we're going to season them just with regular salt and pepper. So now what I want to do is I'm going to grab a little bit of peppercorns, put them right here on my cutting board. If you have a mortar and pestle at home, which is this, you can use it. If not, just the back of a knife and just press down on it with your hands on your palm and you're going to crack your peppercorns. Or if you have a spice grinder at home, that could work as well. Rolling pin, bottle of wine, no, not a bottle of wine, drink it. Okay, so I have my peppercorns. So what I want to do now is just peppercorns on the top, pretty simple, a bit of salt, flip it over, bit more peppercorns. So seasoned salt and pepper, very, very simple seasoning. It's because we want to taste the meat. At the same time, we have a sauce that we're going to make that's going to go right over that. So another bit of salt, perfect. Put these right on the side here, and we're going to let them rest, okay? I'm going to wash my hands. And now we can start our frites. Now, every cook has a guilty pleasure, and mine is French fries. Okay? And potato chips. Potatoes, I don't know what I have with them, but when they're fried, I love it. So I'm making thick cut fries. They're the perfect partner for any steak. So what I'm going to do with my knife is just slice a potato in half. I'm using a russet potato, so a nice floury potato, or you can use any potato that's a baking potato, even a Yukon Gold. And then you just want to cut it in 4. And I like having nice big pieces like this because at least you have something to bite into, right? So we're going to pop these in a water bath. And we're putting them in the water because we want to get rid of some of the starch from the potato. And getting rid of the starch is going to allow the potato to get nice and crispy. So put that right in here and just soak them. If you have time, guys, you can soak them for about 15 minutes, remove them, and change the water and put them in again. Now, what we want to do here is just soak them, grab them. Let's grab a few. Put them on these paper towels right here and pat these dry as well. Now I'm doing this because I'm going to fry them. And oil and water don't mix. Could be dangerous. So at home, you really want to pat them very, very dry. And the trick to great French fries is that we want to fry them twice. So once at a very low heat or a lower heat, about 300 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes. And then we're gonna fry them a second time at 375 for about 5 to 6 minutes until they get golden. So my oil here, I'm using peanut oil or regular vegetable oil. That's fine because, you know, it reaches a nice high smoke point. So I'm gonna just grab my fries and fry them the first time. And also, this is gonna make them cook right through to the middle. So the first one is to cook them. The second one is to get them nice and crisp. Perfect. So I'll keep frying my potatoes, and then after the break, I'll get my steaks going and make mayo from scratch. It's easy, don't miss it. If you like to order steak and fries when you're going out, you're gonna wanna make today's easy meat and potatoes menu at home. It's easier than you might think. My fries are blanched, so guys, I blanch them in batches because you don't wanna put them also in at all at the same time. It's gonna boil over, right? So we did one batch at a time. So now they're cooked through, just waiting to get crispy, right? So I'm gonna fry them up a little later. Now I have my steak. So hot pan. We really want to sear it. We don't want it to boil, guys. So it's got to be a really, really hot pan, a nice stainless steel pan. If you have a cast iron pan at home, does the job really, really well as well. So oil in my pan, and we can add our steaks. One. Ooh. That's the sound of magic. There you go. And again, this kind of steak, you really want to sear on both sides, 4 to 5 minutes, because you want to trap all those juices in there. So they're going to keep frying. Time to make our tarragon aioli. So aioli, basically a garlic-infused mayonnaise. We're going to make homemade mayo. You're going to see it's really, really a cinch to make. So I need a bowl, 2 egg yolks that are going to go right in there. Get the mayo nice and creamy. And I need garlic, aioli, garlic mayonnaise. I have 1 clove of garlic that I put through a garlic press. So that's gonna go in here. And we can start blending this together right away. Perfect. So once that's done, let me just check my steaks again. No, we're gonna wait, not done yet. Add our flavor to our aioli. So, classic again, Dijon mustard, about a tablespoon. Give it a nice spice. About 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. That's pretty good. And some fresh tarragon. So we can just chop up our tarragon. It's got this nice delicate anise flavor. An herb we use a lot in French cooking. Great with steak. So we're gonna add our chopped tarragon right in there. And we can blend this together now. So all our flavors now are blended together. The only thing I'm missing is the oil, but before I add it, the steak. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. That's exactly what I want. Yeah. Perfect, flip them over. See, no moisture in the pan. We patted them dry, it helps a lot. So that's gonna finish cooking, and now I can add my oil to my mayonnaise. So, you want to start, okay, you want to emulsify everything. So you want to start a little oil at a time at the beginning. So we're going to go nice and slow, a little bit at a time. And if you add the oil all at once, it's going to separate. The oil and the eggs are going to separate. You really want them to blend together. So we're going to add it a little bit at a time. Once you see that they've blended together, well, you can you can add a little faster. We're getting there. It's getting nice and thick. That's what we want. So you see, mayo is really easy to make, guys. Huh? So far, so good, no? I'm getting the consistency I like now. I'm gonna keep on going just a little more. It thickens up. You don't want it to get too thick though, because after, again, it's a chance it's gonna separate. But that's good. I'm gonna go again. Now let me just check this again. Oh, I like that. The texture's almost perfect. Perfect. So blend this together one last time. Season it. A bit of salt. A touch of pepper. Mix this up. Look at that, guys. That's what we want. Yeah, nice homemade mayo. It's gonna be great with the fries. So we're gonna cover it, a little bit of plastic wrap here, and put that in the fridge. This aioli or this mayo is good for about 2-3 days in your fridge. So whenever you need it, if you need some more, you can use it. My steaks are almost done. So after the break, I'll make the brandy sauce for my steak and show you why it's good to double fry your fries. Don't go anywhere. Perfect. I'm making a classic steak Frites dinner today, which means, for those of you who might not know, steak and fries, but a little more fancy, the way the French like to do it. My strip loin steaks are finished. Look at that, guys. Huh? So I'm gonna let them rest, and now it's time to make the brandy sauce. So I'm gonna use the same pan because all this is real good, okay? So to the pan, I'm gonna add a little bit of butter. The French and butter, huh? It's classic. So I'm gonna just melt a little bit of this butter, and I'm gonna add some finely chopped shallots. We'll put the shallots right in there. Perfect. Mix that up. It's gonna be fast, guys, because the shallots, we really cut them nice and fine. So now to this, beef stock, just a little bit. That's perfect. And the star are green peppercorns. So look at this. You find these in your grocery store right by the pickles or the capers. They're in a brine. They're peppery, but not, it's not overdoing it, right? So it's almost fruity. So I'm gonna taste one. Yeah, I mean, you can actually put this in your mouth, eat it, and it's not overwhelming. So I'm gonna have some of these, I'm gonna put some of them right into my sauce. Perfect. Excellent. You find them in these little tins. Okay, if you're looking for them at the grocery store. And to this also, I'm gonna add a little bit of brandy. Just a little bit. Now, if you don't have brandy lying around the house, you could add some cognac. That can work as well. So I'm gonna let this reduce a little bit. And while that's reducing, my steaks are resting. I have my fries. So now my oil is at 375, 380 degrees, okay? This is where we get them nice and crisp. So I'm gonna grab my fries and put them back right in there. Again, I'm gonna go a little batch at a time so it doesn't overflow. And they're gonna cook anywhere between 6 to 8 minutes, or until they get nice and golden. So that's gonna fry. Let's go back to the sauce. So this reduced, smells fantastic. A little bit of salt, a touch of pepper, always season important. A little bit of grainy mustard. The French love their mustard too, eh? Butter, mustard, cream, eh? Indulgence. A little bit of cream. Excellent. Whisk all that together. And this is really gonna enhance the flavors of your steak. It really complements the steak really well. So that's all mixed together. I'm gonna bring this to a slight simmer and let that reduce a little bit so it just thickens up. Let me go and check my fries here. All right, perfect. Look at these guys. Nice and crispy fries. Yeah, we like that. And I mean, thick cut fries are really good because at least you bite into something, you know? Perfect. So I'm gonna keep on frying. After the break, I'll finish off my steak frites menu with another classic, Frites salad with warm bacon dressing. You don't wanna miss it. I'm making a classic French steak frites meal today. It's a great menu for entertaining. So I started with a simple main, steak with peppercorn brandy sauce, and my thick cut fries are done. So my fries just came out of the oil, guys. I season now a little bit of coarse salt. And I like coarse salt because it gives a nice crunch, you know? And some fresh thyme. You want to do this while they're still hot. So then you just want to mix them up a little bit, and we can just grab a few. Perfect. And put them right on our plate. That's good. Now our steak. So you grab a steak, put the steak right on the plate as well. I'm serving this with a roasted stuffed tomato. You can find the recipe on our website. My aioli, make a small place for the aioli right here. And finally, we have our green peppercorn cream sauce. So really a classic sauce to go with steak frites. You just want to grab a little bit of the sauce, pour it right over the steak. Oh yeah, That's it. Perfect. Look at that. All right? So, but check this out. I want you guys to see this. So what's really important, the way the steak is cooked, right? So check this out, guys. Just look at that. Does that look good or what? It's like the perfect pink. And it looks so good that I'm gonna give you all a taste after the show. Yes! Amazing. So, now to finish things off, Frites salad with warm bacon dressing. It's another French classic made with crisp frisee lettuce, smoky bacon, creamy blue cheese, and a touch of honey. Absolutely everyone's gonna love this salad. So, I rendered some bacon fat here, so I chopped some bacon up in big cubes, rendered the fat, so I have the fat here in the pan. What I'm gonna do to this now is add some finely chopped shallots, put this right in here, let that cook up a little bit, and I'm gonna add a touch of honey. Little sweetness, oh yeah. So we're gonna let the honey melt. This is all gonna mix together. I have frisee, okay? So the frisee easy, you don't remove the leaves, give it a nice wash. Put that right here, nice crunch to it. A little bitter, which is really, really nice. To this, we can add our bacon bits. That's gonna go right in there. I'll keep a few for the garnish. So once everything here is mixed together, remove this from the heat. And I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil in here. That's perfect. And a touch of white wine vinegar. Excellent. So mix that. So, you know, a bit of the acidity of the white wine vinegar complements the honey, you know, balances it out. Perfect. So now what we want to do is mix. We have a nice platter. Put that right in our platter, the frisee with the bacon. So we have some bacon bits throughout our salad here. We have a little bit of our dressing that we're gonna spoon right over this. It's warm, the salad's nice and cool, great combination. Not too much dressing, and we're gonna finish with a bit more bacon, some freshly chopped chives, and some blue cheese. Oh, yeah. Wow. Perfect. And there is our salad. So the perfect steak frit dinner. So you can find all the recipes for today's steak frit menu on our website. Hope you get in the kitchen and have some fun. See you next time. Cheers.